Hello friends! There are just a few quirks about new cameras or new gear that will only pop up the more that you use them. So here are some of the few nuances about the DJI Osmo Nano that I figured out after a couple of days of extensively playing with it. So first, I've discussed this in my previous video and a lot of other reviewers have as well, but there are some wireless connectivity limitations. For example, I have here the DJI Mic 3. I've already connected with my DJI Osmo Nano. There's preview, there's audio levels. When I tap the mic, audio levels change. Everything is kosher. However, once you detach the camera from the Vision Pod, boop, preview disappears. A possible solve. If you really need a live preview of your footage while you are recording with a wireless mic attached to it, then if you use the DJI Mimo app, you can still get live preview from there. So not the Vision Dock, but on the DJI Mimo app, you'll be able to still have live preview while having wireless mics attached to your DJI Osmo Nano. Another limitation, there is no video playback when the camera is not attached to the Vision Dock. Here on the left, you can see the playback button. If I hit that, I can see all of the previous footage that I've filmed that is on my camera. But once I detach the camera from the Vision Dock, I can see a live preview, but I won't be able to see the footage that I've recorded. The playback button is no longer there. Another quick fix there. If you need live video playback remotely from your camera, again, the DJI Mimo app works. You'll be able to watch your footage from the camera even if it's not attached to the Vision Dock through the DJI Mimo app. So it's a little bit of a workaround, but there's always a solution to any problem. Next other quirk, this camera comes with a hat clip, and this hat clip is good because one side of it is a magnet, so you can stick it to your chest pendant or anything that's magnetizable. The only note here that I'm going to point out is the angles of your hat clip does not have clicks. I noticed that because with other hat clips or other mounts like this where it articulates, I count the number of clicks just to note what angle it is. So for example, if I want a chest POV and I want it pointing a little lower to the ground, sometimes I'll do 2 clicks. And I want it pointing up, I'll do it 4 clicks. This is a lot more freedom, but again, you won't be able to standardize your angles as easily as compared to when this hat clip has clicks. Another thing, if you did not know, the included suction mount, you can detach the suction and has a 1/4-20, and you can attach other mounts to it. I can attach this tiny tripod. I can attach a magnet there, so it's magnetizable as well, just in case you have not noticed yet with the standard package. Speaking of mounts, I know the included mounts attach very seamlessly and quickly to the DJI Osmo Nano. For the previous mounts, so this was my Action Pro mini tripod, although it's not as seamless as the included mounts, like there is a little bit of misalignment in terms of the polarity of the magnets. You just need to finagle your way in and it will lock. So it's just, I think, the misalignment of magnets from the previous mounts that you have to the DJI Osmo Nano that makes it less seamless as the included mounts. Speaking of included accessories, I really love that it comes with a protective case. I actually run this with a protective case most of the time rather than bare, but one time I wanted to transfer footage from my DJI Osmo Nano directly to the camera with the protective case on, and the files came out corrupted. I thought that I had a dud unit, so I was freaking out a little bit, but I didn't realize that I had this all the time. I noticed that the case also has a little connectors both inside and outside to transfer the footage from the DJI Osmo Nano to the Vision Dock, and I just kind of assumed that that additional transfer layer was the one that was causing my video files to be corrupted. So when I transferred files without the protective case on, the files turned out to be okay. Speaking of transferring files from your DJI Osmo Nano to your computer, there's only one orientation that you can do it with. It will give you a notification that the camera needs to be pointing outside with the preview monitor towards you in order to be able to transfer files from your camera and Vision Dock to your computer. Not a big deal, just a little quirk. Other things in terms of incompatibility, I tried out my Hollyland Lark A1 that has the USB-C dongle. So I love this mic whenever I'm using it with my Action 4 or Action 5. Even my Insta360 X5 camera. I also tried my Boya Wireless Mini, same thing. It's a tiny wireless mic that has a USB-C dongle connection. For the Hollyland, I can't even connect it because you can't take out this door. It is fully attached to the camera. So with this big USB-C dongle, I won't be able to fit it without an extension adapter. I tried it with the Boya Wireless Mini, which fit, but the mic also did not connect. Speaking of this door, again, this is not detachable, so be careful with it. You might break it if you try to force it out. And also the way that it locks, it is just pressure lock. There's no real snap that locks the door in place. So it might be very easy to pop open. So just be careful, particularly when you're using your camera with some moisture or with some liquids around, because when this door is left open, you can see your card and the USB-C port is exposed. Liquids might come in there, so just be careful about that. Another quirk. Oh, also, I wanted to add another quirkiness around the DJI Osmo Nano. Actually, DJI as a brand in general is, due to some tariff wonkiness here in the United States, you might run into some stock issues. Even if you just go to the DJI website right now in the US, there isn't even a section for the DJI Osmo Nano. I'm Filipino, grew up in the Philippines, popped over to the Philippines site of DJI, and they have the DJI Osmo Nano section there. That is pertinent because even the accessories for the DJI Osmo Nano might be difficult to get on occasion. In Amazon, it's very, very inconsistent. 1 minute it is 2-day shipping, next day delivery. When stocks run out, it might be a month. And if you search DJI Osmo Nano accessories, like I do, because I want a spare lens protector handy, and even that head strap, it's not there. But if I go to the Philippines website of DJI, it's there. So just another thing that you might want to keep some tabs on. There will be a lot more things that I'll probably figure out, and I'll continue to build a playlist of videos that I've made with or for the DJI Osmo Nano, so we can all progress with our learning with this camera. But I did want to leave you with one more cool thing, and I won't take full credit of this because I too was thinking that if the mounts of the Action 4 and Action 5 cameras are compatible with the DJI Osmo Nano, what other things are compatible? And one of the first things that I always buy with my action cameras in particular are extra lens protectors. So I was thinking, is this lens protector the same thread size as the Osmo Action 4, Action 5? Because instead of buying a new set of ND filters for the Nano, I can reuse my variable ND for my Action 5. And it does fit. And thanks to Chris Meets Chris for pointing that out. So coming into my test, I already knew that it worked. But I also wanted to double click with what he mentioned, is that the difference between the lens of the DJI Osmo Nano is that there is a rubber gasket or a rubber band that keeps dust and water to go in, which your lenses of your Action 4s and Action 5s do not have. So when I was putting back my DJI Osmo Nano lens back, that rubber band popped out, and I had to finagle it in a little bit so that it is flushed back into the thread of the lens. So just be wary of that when you're taking the lens of your Nano in and out. Cool, that's it for this quick video. I'll be doing more videos about the Nano, addressing things like the new firmware patch that is said to have improved heat dissipation of the camera, so it'll be a little bit better with overheating. So I want to do my own jank overheating test in my way. Again, I use these action cameras so that I have POV footage of my softball games. And now that I have two micro wearable action cameras, I can use one for me, and I can give a teammate of mine another one, and we'll have two POV cameras, and when we stitch it all together, you'll have a bunch of different perspectives of this fun recreational softball game. Also, because we figured out that the lenses of the Action 4, Action 5 is the same thread size as the DJI Nano. Apart from this variable ND, I have a couple of more Action series lenses, including a mist filter and a special fun lens that I'll be doing pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for hanging out again. I hope you found something useful in this video, and if you have, I hope you subscribe to the channel. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what else you guys want to test. Let me know if there are other nuances that you figure out that I haven't discussed yet. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot. But with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in your next video, and more importantly, I hope to see you in the next of mine. Bye.